Hey guys, hope you are doing well and staying sane and staying home. In my last video, I mentioned that I was doing some crafts, so I thought I'd show you one today from my clean house. Making progress, making progress. Now, I, like many of you, I'm sure, am missing my home away from home. So this craft is a way to remember the good old days. I am going to be putting together a pin display. Now, I'm not a pin collector per se, but I do pick up some from time to time, particularly on race weekends, and wanted a special way to show them off, other than on these ears. To start, I've borrowed a fellow YouTuber's idea, and I got this Kasseby box from IKEA. It is a lot larger than I expected, but the great thing about that is that I'm gonna have plenty of room for not only the pins that I have now, but any future pins. And another great thing about this box is that it's on hinges, so I can add to it very simply. It's got a backing on it thick enough to poke my pins through and a magnet snap. Now, I'm not going to put all the pins that I own in the box. Only the special ones that I'd be devastated to put on these ears and lose, or that under no circumstances would I trade. I'm also not going to put on any special pin badges that I have because I've already started to put magnets on the back of those and put them on my fridge. So let me walk you through my select stash here. They all have a special memory or two attached to them. First up, my Disneyland Paris pins from Magic Run Weekend 2018. Also from Paris is this really pretty Disneyland park pin with Sleeping Beauty's castle on there. Now, don't get me wrong, I love Cinderella's castle, but this castle is pretty amazing. And last up from Disneyland Paris is my resort pin. I stayed at the Hotel Cheyenne, and this pin is really neat because it has a key at the bottom of it that dangles, and it has Mickey kind of dressed up in an Indian headdress. The Hotel Cheyenne is kind of Wild West themed. Sticking with the resort theme, I stayed for my first race weekend and coincidentally my last race weekend at Pop Century. I need to get Coronado's resort pin because I stayed there during my Disney moon, and we went to the very merry Christmas party, so I might be looking on eBay for those pins. And my last resort pin, I stayed here 1 or 2 nights. My friend Jen was nice enough to host me at the Beach Club Resort, and it's got my favorite girl on there, Ariel, with Sebastian and Flounder. I really love this pin. Okay, I'm going to venture into a couple rides right now. First one I actually got from my sister-in-law. She got it for me, or she gave it to me at Princess Half Marathon Weekend 2018, which was my first half marathon. She gave it to me because it was my favorite ride, and that is Space Mountain. And my next and last ride for now is the Rock and Roller Coaster. It's done in kind of a guitar pick. On my Disney moon, which I mentioned, a cast member saw that it was our honeymoon and was really nice to us and gave us a fast pass for Rock and Roller Coaster. And let me tell you, I'm a fan of coasters and I loved this one. One of the things I want to do is to gather pins from either characters I've ran as or special characters that I've met from a race weekend or other weekends. And one pin kind of meets both of those for me. In Disneyland Paris, I dressed up as Provincial Belle, and they switched out characters. This particular photo stop was originally Governor Ratcliffe and Percy, which I would have been super excited to see, but they happened to switch out for this character, which was more fitting for my costume, and that was Gaston. I picked this guy up at marathon weekend this year. He's even more special to me now because over the summer of 2019, I was in my first show at a local community theater, and it was Beauty and the Beast, and I played one of Gaston's bimbettes or silly girls. Gaston, I guess, is just always gonna be my guy. And if there wasn't any more reason to love Gaston, during my Disney Moon, this is one of the character meet and greets we did. And if you've never met Gaston, please go do so. He's such fun to meet and interact with, especially because it's all about him. No one pins like Gaston. All right, so let's move on to some race pins. Oh no, I've scratched that one. Well, that's unfortunate. Okay, so for my first Run Disney weekend, it was Princess Half Marathon Weekend 2018, like I've said. I got the I Did It pins. The 5K for that year was Rapunzel, which I love. And so instead of the metal replica or anything, I did the I Did It pins. And you heard me. I'm so sad I see a scratch right there. But it says I did it. And then on the inside, it has Pascal. And then, of course, I did the challenge since I ran on the races. And that was the Fairy Tale Challenge. And it has Cinderella and Gus and Jack. And it says I did it as well. And it has her pals on the inside. 19.3 Fairy Tale Challenge 2018. Now, most recently, I got the Dopey Challenge pin, and of course, he is running down his little course here. I saved this one for last for a reason. During marathon weekend, I got to be a part of an amazing group costume during the half marathon. It spoke to my 90s heart, and that was the Mighty Ducks. All of the Ducks agreed that it was a very special race. So I went out on a search on the internet to find some way to commemorate that. And I happened upon this pin. You're gonna laugh at the name of this maker, but it's okay. It's from Duty Beard. And it's a glitter pin that says "Ducks Fly Together." And that couldn't be any more accurate. Even during this quarantine time, the ducks are flying together. I just noticed this, and it's hilarious. Poor eyeballs. I love that though. All the ducks have these pins, so it's just a really special pin. Even though it's not a Disney park official pin, it's still a really special pin to me. Let's put them in here. Last pin, and voila! I've got my rides and parks there, my characters there, my race weekend / challenge pins there, my resort pins, and the special miscellaneous category. I probably should have left a space in case I get that Coronado pin, but I can always move it down. So there she is, and still lots of space to add. It's done for now. I've just got to figure out where I'm going to put this thing. Until next time, or craft time, please like, comment with what pin you'd pick up on your next trip. Subscribe and ring the bell 2 times for notifications. Bye guys, stay safe.